morning, aren't you glad that God didn't make any of us God? Can you imagine having to deal with me as God? Sherry, you shouldn't be going through such contortions there. It's really not that. John 5, 14. No, wait, no. I'm sorry. We're gonna go in John 5, a different verse. Let's go to John 5:4. Probably ought to read more. But anyway, for an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Jesus said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and he took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. The Jews therefore said unto him, Thou wast cured, it is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk. Then asked they him, What man is it that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed wist not who it was, for Jesus had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Afterward Jesus findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest the worst thing come upon thee. And the man departed and told the Jews that it was Jesus which had made him whole. Now, Jesus asked this man, Do you want to be healed? Well, that seems like a pretty ludicrous question. He's 38 years a cripple, laying at the pool of Bethesda, waiting for, and has laid there for who knows how long, waiting to see when the waters will be troubled, because the first one that touches the waters after they're troubled is healed. So, I mean, is it not obvious that this man wants to be healed? But Jesus comes up and says, Would you be made whole? That's like asking somebody in a prayer line, Do you want to be healed? But in truth, it's a very legitimate question. Because Jesus is not referring to exclusively the condition of his body. Jesus is referring to the condition of his spirit. So Jesus is saying, what I'm asking you, man, takes a greater response from you than do you want to be made whole in your body. What I'm asking you has a greater responsibility to you than would you be made whole in your body. And I will not give you this unless you are aware of the fact that it does require a greater response from you. In Mark, the 2nd chapter, in the 2nd chapter of Mark, in the 4th verse, and when they could not come nigh unto him for the press, they uncovered the roof where he was. When they had broken it up, they let down the bed wherein the sick of the palsy lay. When Jesus saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, thy sins be forgiven thee. But there were certain of the scribes sitting there that reasoning in their hearts, Why does this man thus speak blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God only? And immediately, when Jesus perceived in his spirit that they so reasoned within themselves, he said unto them, Why reason ye these things in your hearts? whether it's easier to say to the sick of the palsy, thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, arise, take up thy bed, and walk. But that you may know the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins. He said to the sick of the palsy, I say unto you, arise, take up thy bed, go thy way into thine own house. And immediately he rose and took up his bed. Jesus is saying to you and I that the sanctification or salvation of the spirit and the body are one. He's saying to you and I, batteries included, it's all there. He's saying, I cannot save your body apart from saving your spirit. I can't do it. We separate salvation. God does not. And it will do many things. It will prevent us from knowing full salvation, but it also can prove itself very harmful to those who seek and for those whom they seek. In John, go back to John 5 just for a second, and let's close out the encounter of Jesus and this man. You remember he told him, he said, go and sin no more, lest the worst thing come upon you. In John 5, I think the 14th, afterward Jesus findeth him in the temple. Behold, thou art made whole, sin no more, lest the worst thing come unto thee. He said, you've been made whole. The entirety of the house is made clean. I can't make you whole if I don't make you whole. The entirety of the house is clean. Now he's saying to him, I'm telling you the responsibility that you now have. Make sure you deal with it, because if you do not, you will be worse than you were when I found you. If sanctification for the soul of the body are offered and received without sanctification of the spirit being foremost, you do great harm. Because if the appetite for God is not there, it will be filled with something. You empty that of all of the darkness, it's going to be filled with something. And if that spirit is not hungry for God, it will not be God it fills itself with. Go to Matthew, the 12th chapter. Looking with me at the 38th verse. Then certain of the scribes and of the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. He answered,